So what your employer value proposition is essentially what you bring to the table for your candidate. So just like in real estate, when you would provide the value of a home to your buyer, you would also want to show what value you're bringing to the table for your candidate and your employees, and that aligns with what they are looking for as well.
So it's basically your unique sales proposition, or
Exactly.
UVP in sales and marketing.
Right.
You have to view this job description as marketing then.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Not the old sterile, government job description that says, here's a rough paragraph and then 20 bullets and you have to sell to them. So It's important to write this EVP up in your head. How's that connect to the candidate profile? Because that's a unique term that a lot of people don't necessarily even hear or think of, candidate profile.
Right. So you also want to think about not only what you bring to the table, but what your candidate's going to bring to the table for you. So what are you looking for in candidates, not only in their tasks and the role that they're going to play, but their behaviors and their motivators as well?
So this is starting to craft a job description that's very powerful. And this is important because you have to think of hiring like marketing, not I'm going to bless you with an opportunity to join my company. Nah. It's no different than marketing to buyers and sellers. There's a lot of competition out there, folks. So once you've got the EVP, and we've got other resources here that'll talk about diving deep into writing those and candidate profiles. We've got resources here that list a lot of the raw materials for that, including the disc and the values here again on the site. I'm building this in. What's the other key or other keys to writing a good job ad?
When you're writing your job ad, you want to take into account the personality that you're writing the job ad for. So if you're writing it for a sales position, you would want it to be short and direct and to the point. But if you're writing it for an admin position, for instance, that person might want to see lots of bullet points because they're very detail oriented. So you want to think about that when you're writing your job ad. We love when people put titles in that say, great team, training provided, but candidates essentially aren't going to be searching for that on the job board. So you really want to provide a title. And I always say that they might have as a job title on their resume. So a previous position that they've had or something they have experience in that they're going to be going to the job boards and searching for. So you want to make sure that your job title is relevant to the candidate, not just to your company as well. And then when you're writing the job description, you really want, when you're first sitting down, and we call it the job summary essentially, or the job description job summary, you want to provide a just overall view of what you're looking for the position and the candidate, and combining with what your company is looking for. And then below that, you can provide the specific tasks depending on the role. Again, if it's sales, it's going to be a little bit shorter. If it's admin, it may be a little bit longer. You don't want it to be 4 pages like Jay said. You want them to read through it and get to the point quick enough so they can make a decision on whether to apply or not. And then with that, you also want to include any experience that they may need to have and any qualifications. So if they need to have sales experience, if they need to have a realtor's license, things like that.
Well, and it sounds like a lot. I think, this could be overwhelming for somebody watching this going, holy heck, how do I do all that? There's templates inside the system that the wizard's going to guide you through. Let's talk about titles first and give some options. We have templates that have most of this filled out, and you can edit for those that just want to massage something instead of create from a blank slate. But these are the key components that she's talking about. So a really good job title probably is the biggest thing that you just said, that I'm just kind of point out some of the key nuggets that you're dropping here is the search. Mm-hmm. People tend to think in their mind, what are we trying to say? I think the biggest problem has been a lot of people have been trained on Craigslist. Mm-hmm. And no offense, Greg, but your list should never be hiring people. Go sell used beer fridges in the garage. My number's online if you need to call me with an issue with that. But you shouldn't be hiring great talent on Craigslist. I'm sorry. People get used to Craigslist and they're trying to compete for the competition on Craigslist by having capitals with ampersands and rock stars, and it just doesn't work. Real professionals looking for real jobs are going to be out on the regular job boards, the social media, and your website. 40% will visit your website, people. So utilize the careers page that we'll build to put on your website. And it's got to be professional. The words in the job descriptions, I understand people want to try to differentiate and stand out. But when it comes to writing job ads, think like you would buyers and sellers. Now, I hope this isn't true, and maybe, you know, these people won't be around in business long, but we see people that do great marketing to buyers and sellers. And then when they get into putting job descriptions up, they think it's okay to put things like, I'm not going to babysit you. And if you're afraid of this, wishy-washy that, or, you know, whatever, then just run off and don't bother with me. There's all these negative, insulting things that people put in these job descriptions, which, you know, one guy put, if you're not ready to make more money than your girlfriend can spend, don't apply to this job, you know. Write like you're writing to a buyer or a seller. You are marketing and selling. Now, the one benefit is people like Tiffany and the rest of the awesome team are going to review all these jobs and make sure that there's nothing in there that's going to get in trouble with the job boards, because boards will flag it. But, you know, use your common sense when you're writing a good job description. And when you write the title, it's what's being searched. How many times does somebody put in buyer agent as a title?
All the time. And with that said, I'm glad you brought that point up. You really want to be industry specific. So also putting in maybe real estate sales buyer's agent. So then that also opens it up to people who also have sales experience. And really quick, we'll touch on that, is sometimes people go in looking for someone who is just real estate and only they're honed in on them having that experience. But a lot of times we do recommend opening it up to sales and people who maybe have previous sales experience and creating possibly another additional outside sales ad.
Oh, I mean, we do unlimited jobs at WiseHire. And one of the main reasons we do that is because you may have to have that diversity. You may have to say, I'm looking in the real estate industry, let's say, and we serve, you know, multiple industries, but let's say that I'm looking for that buyer agent only. To her point, if you type buyer agent and that's the title, that's not what people are searching. People are searching real estate sales. Mm-hmm. And so you could actually test this yourself. We're going to tell you this, so you don't necessarily have to, but go to Indeed, go to Monster, go to ZipRecruiter, where any of the major job boards, and we're going to push it out to all of them. Test it. Go to your market and type whatever title you're thinking about putting up there that you think is really cool and awesome, and see what the results are. And then here's the metric to test it against. Test it in this example against real estate sales, or start searching whatever industry you're in and see what the people are typing. Because like Google search, and you people know this, you're out there looking to get in front of people with what they're looking for. See what those keywords are. And it's not what you want to call it. It's what they're searching for. That's the biggest shift that I guess people have to make here.